Atlanta Falcons last year 7-10. Overall number this year is 9.5 wins. Of course, they picked up Kirk Cousins by free agency, and then a month later they draft Michael Penix Jr. from Washington with the eighth pick in the draft. Can you guys explain to me what they were doing there? It's been months after that draft, that whole transaction between Cousins in March, Penix in April, and I still don't know what the fuck they were doing.
What happened here? I'll tell you real easy. Rodgers, Jordan Love. You brought in a quarterback with a torn Achilles who's only got 2 to 3 years left anyways. This is a quarterback you really believe in, that you can draft. Why would you pass up a chance to draft the guy you truly believe can sit behind a pro quarterback, learn for a year, and then come out the gate? Or sit for 2 years and then come out the gate?
Because you can draft that same guy like Joe Milton, who they should have drafted in the 5th, 6th round, because you know he's going to sit for 2 years.
Like Michael Penix. He has nowhere near the talent of Michael Penix.
But that's the point. You know you're going to give him 2 years. You need a guy with raw tools at that point. You don't need Michael Penix is the oldest quarterback in the draft. Why would you draft that guy?
That doesn't. First off, he's not the oldest guy in the draft. He's over in could be Washington, could be Denver. Both those guys were 6 and 7 years in college. Also,
so was Michael Penix.
Okay, so he's not the oldest guy ever. All right, and if he sits 2 years, what is he? 25 years old, right? They played a 35-40 now, so you get a guy for 10 years that you truly believe. Joe Milton, at best, he's going to be your third string backup. He doesn't have a future in the NFL as a starter. You're drafting a guy that you really believe can lead your team in the future. And who also, because you paid a ton of money to a quarterback with an Achilles injury that may not really be ready to go, and you still want to compete.
I get what you're saying there, Zach, and it makes a lot of sense. It's logically makes sense. It's the money they pay Cousins, though, it's like, wow. All that money, though.
$45 a year.
All right, Ernest, here, I'll ask it another way. Who are you going to draft in the first round on defense?
The best pass rusher. Every defensive player was available to you.
Tell me his name right now. Tell me that guy's name. Neither one of you can do it.
I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they didn't do something like that.
No,
I'm not saying I hate what they did. I'm just confused at the logic.
Dallas Turner or Latu would have easily have changed the game for them. Now, granted, they got Matt Judon to be that defensive end, but they could have drafted a guy too and still went and got Matt Judon, and then they could have learned from them, and they could have had an insane rotation.
Oh wait, so that guy can be drafted and learn from Judon, but you're not going to take a franchise-altering player at quarterback to learn.
You just don't do that year one. You do that next year. Like if you see that Kirk still isn't the same after the Achilles, this, that, and the other, then you draft next year. But you don't do it right now.
So you both think the Jordan Love pick is still a stupid pick?
But that was 10 years into Aaron Rodgers' career. That's when he was alternating.
Aaron Rodgers won 2 MVPs after that pick.
Yeah, but he was already contemplating retirement, so that was the right move.
That was
Plus,
the optics.
Jordan Love fell to them at 25. They didn't take him at 8 overall. There's a big difference.
Yes, but
you don't invest money and then invest draft capital at the same time for a guy that's probably one of the most pro-ready guys in the draft.
So you really believe that Aaron Rodgers was really going to retire at 32 years old?
He's crazy.
Give me a break.
He's
the money-grubbing whore that he is. He was gonna retire at 32, 33.
No, they drafted him at like 35. It was different. But yeah, he also won MVPs after that. But that's not the point. The point is,
was that a bad draft pick? Would you still say that they made the mistake of drafting Jordan Love?
No, of course.
In hindsight, no.
But a late first rounder is different than a top 10 pick.
Yeah, that's
significantly different.
And not only that, and then pay him that kind of money that he was being paid. Aaron Rodgers was on a contract at the time.
Yeah.
Wait, first off, Love was under contract too.
No.
Not
Rodgers.
Love. Oh, Rodgers is. He was getting paid a ton. Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles injury. Can you tell me how many quarterbacks over the age of 35 coming off an Achilles have ever succeeded?
Then why pay him that kind of money though?
Yeah, because they're going for anything because they're hope. They're going for hope. But what you have to do is also prepare on the other side.
No, Zach, I don't disagree with the Penix pick. I actually didn't mind the Penix pick. I love Penix Jr., to be honest with you. I'm more confused to me, I think the paying Kirk Cousins $40 million is more egregious than the Penix pick, honestly.
Because maybe they also one of those moves. Penix Jr. at the time.
It's one of those moves that obviously he must have been so high on their draft board compared to everybody else that was left that it was the best player available by a long shot. Or you really don't trust his Achilles is fully healed and you need someone to step in right away. I don't even know what the answer is because they didn't play either one of them in the preseason, which is crazy to me. But
Penix
has not played a single snap in the preseason.
Penix played and threw for over 100 yards in the first preseason game.
He missed the last 2 games, though. He missed the last game or last 2 games.
Okay.
He missed the last game,
Did he
apparently.
Play in a game?
Yeah, he did play. He played the first game, actually. Yeah.
No, he didn't play the first game.
No, I saw him play the first game. I saw him throw not a touchdown, but I saw him throw a pass. He didn't play the last game though. It still doesn't make no sense. But whatever. Anyway, back to the Falcons real quick. Overall, 9.5 wins. I'm going over for one reason. That fucking division. They should sweep Carolina. They should sweep Tampa. We'll see. New Orleans might be a split. I don't know. But they should win at least 10 games. The roster's pretty good. I mean, they're not Cowboys, Lions, Eagles, Niners good, but they're tier 2 of the NFC right now on paper, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go over 10-7.
Give me the over. You had a horrible quarterback in Ritter, who isn't in a second string backup anywhere in the league now, and yet they won 7 games. Yeah, I think they'll be able to win 10 games, even with rookie Penix Jr. if he were to start.
But I feel like it's easy to say that when you retain your coaching staff and you make a big leap like that in talent. When you overhaul the entire front office as well and the coaching staff and whatnot, along with the team, it's different. I don't know if it's so easy to say like, oh, you upgrade the quarterback. Obviously, they're going to go from 7 to 10 easily. I'm going to go over, but I don't think I think it's going to be one of those like can go down to week 18 to hit that over type deals. But I'm going to go over just because, especially with the last few like pickups they made, definitely is going to help out a lot. That defense was not great at all.
Right.
But
all right.
Kirk with that offensive line and the weapons they have, they should easily they should get there.
Right.
I'm not going to say easily, but they should get there.
10. Yeah, I agree with you. All right, next one. Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year with 9-8 went to the playoffs, even won division, won a playoff game. Over-under this year is 7.5 though. So, do we still believe Baker Mayfield a second year in a row? We haven't seen him put together a 2-year run of good football through his career yet. So waiting for that one.
Well, he's got hurt a lot.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, look, he's a solid quarterback. I think we had him rank around the same numbers. I think when we did our rankings last week, I had him like 17, 16, somewhere in there. And he has got him close to there. So he's in the mix. He's not bad, not great, but not bad either.
I know. Borderline playoff. That's what he is. Borderline playoffs.
Yeah, and he won a playoff game. I'll tell you what, though, the 2 times he made the playoffs, he won a playoff game each year. So, this, I don't know. Maybe I'm taking off from what happened last year. This kind of feels like a steal. Like I'm gonna take it over, slide over, because I can see 8-9. I feel like 8-9 is the floor. Well, maybe not the floor, but I feel like 8-9 is a sweet spot, should I say? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll still go over this one. You got Mike Evans. You know, they got a solid team. They're not pushovers by any means. We saw last year. I don't know. Zach, wait, am I wrong here?
I don't know if 8 is the floor.
Not the floor. It's sweet spot.
I would say 8 is more like
a sweet spot. No. I corrected myself when I said that. By the way, okay. It was not the floor is probably 5 or 6 wins. So
because I'm not gonna say 8 is their limit, because there's a chance they could win 9, but I'm with you. I think 7.5 is too low for an over/under, and I'll take 8 games.
I may bet this on a parlay, a future. I don't know. Feels like 8 wins.
And let's remember they play in the South and they play in the NFC. All right,
nice.
That should help you get to 8 wins.
You guys are so wrong on this one, dude. This is an easy under.
Wow.
They lost talent on every level on defense. Granted, Lovey is good enough to keep that flowing, so you don't have to worry about the defense. But your best offensive weapons are aging and injury riddled. Like, you think Mike Evans is going to put up another monster? He's done it 10 years in a row now, but there's going to come a point in time where that streak's going to come to an end. That's probably this year. Chris Godwin ain't some, stellar, bill of health by any means. I just have no faith in them staying healthy, and their depth is so razor thin. They can't survive injury. Dude, if Tristan Wirfs goes down, you might as well chalk that whole offensive line up. They have some good key players, and they have good veteran leadership with a stable head coach. Lovey's been there for quite a while now. Or, sorry, Todd Bowles. Why do I keep saying Lovey? Todd Bowles has been there for quite a while now. Todd Bowles has been there for quite a while now, and he's going to keep that ship afloat. But I just don't see it this year. I see them more of a 6-win team.
All right. Next team here, you have the New Orleans Saints. Last year went 9-8. This year, over a number of 7.5 wins. This is probably one of the toughest ones to predict, though, because they're not a terrible team, but clearly they're not that good. This doesn't sound story here, right, Chris?
Can I go first here?
Go right ahead.
In his entire coaching career, Dennis Allen has hit the under on his win total every single year of his coaching career. Every year. This year is.
Are you serious?
They suck. Give me the under. Lock it up right now.
How did he not surpass the win total for last year, though?
Nope.
So last year, I think last year were 9.5 wins. I think
9.5 wins for that team last year.
Yeah, went 9-8 last year. Yeah. Because I remember making comments on the whole podcast that they were a sneaky 1 seed because of the fact that they had an easy schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that defense was going to be so great with Dennis Allen staying.
And he just signed Derek Carr. Is Derek Carr his last gasp here? Derek Carr?
I had him in my 20s, in my QB rating. I think he is done. So he is approaching fringe starter at best status. He's good on a good team, and he's bad on a bad team. Just like Kurt Warner was, just like all these other guys. If you don't have elite talent around, the offensive line is shaky. The outside weapons, Kamara, Olave, Rashid Shaheed blew up kind of last year. They have some decent tight end play. I don't like it at all. The team's just not. Yeah. The team just not it. And Dennis Allen, until he hits the over, I'm gonna bet it under every single time.
So I have the over, but I'm not even sure I believe that. I really don't. Because 7.5 is probably the right number they should be at.
No.
Well, I mean, Zach. I'll stick to you. I think 8-9 is where they'll be at, like Tampa.
I just can't see 3 teams in a division beating the over first off. So that kind of math just tells me I got to make the Saints an under bet anyways.
Yeah, and now this is the Chris. Now I think maybe it's just the under bet. But I love Derek Carr. I'm hoping that maybe he has a turnaround this year. But maybe
here's my feeling.
I'm going under.
Whether or not Derek Carr starts for the Saints next year, he will be a starter because there'll probably be 2 openings in New York.
Jesus. Rodgers too.
Well, I mean, y'all been telling me now. Apparently, he's wanted to retire for 6 years. He didn't want any money.
Well, they probably have some intel internally about that. Maybe
all I've heard is that man cry on TV for money. Everybody on his team had to wait for him to get his money before they could get theirs. But you're telling me he was gonna retire. So yeah, he might retire after the season.
You hate that guy, don't you?
Oh, he's just a scumbag, man. And he's so overrated by this.
Okay,
All right,
calm down.
You win one playoff game a year. If you're lucky.
By the way, I didn't go under also in the Saints. I'm like, yeah.
There we go.
If I'm picking a team to go over between these two, them and Tampa is a more solid situation going, in my opinion, than New Orleans. So I'll take the under. They'll go 7-10. To be honest with you,
no.
Worse than that, bottom out. Ooh, the Dennis Allen's gone.
Not in this division.
Yeah, the Dennis Allen's gone then.
5-12 is real.
5-12. So we'll know week 1 because they play Carolina. This is the next team here, last team in the South. They went 2-15 last year. Obviously, worst team in football. Also didn't have their first pick because went to Chicago. Over number is 5.5 wins. This is easy under for me.
Yes.
Chris says differently, right?
Here's the question: will Bryce Young even win 2 games this season?
No. Yeah, he won more than 2.
Really?
More than 2. Yeah.
Because will he even be playing enough games? As small as he is.
No, he'll get enough. He'll get at least 4 wins this year.
He'll get at least 4 wins, but you don't think he'll go over 5.5?
No. Find me.
I'm confident he won't go over 5.5 because I don't think he'll get to. Well, I think the team will win 3 games.
I'll bring it right now. Find me 6 wins on the schedule right now. I'll bring it right now. Let's go
I want you to find me 4 wins. Find me 4 wins.
Okay. So 4 possible wins. They're not going over it. They're going to be a 4-13 team this year. So, New Orleans on the road.
Give me New Orleans.
Divisional game. They can win that game. They could win that game. So we're going to go on possibilities, not based on what's going to happen.
Okay.
So possible wins or at New Orleans.
No, not at New Orleans. Maybe home against.
Okay, fine. The split then. Okay, split. That's 1. Do you see a split in Tampa?
No.
You see a split in Atlanta?
No.
Okay, there you go. At Raiders?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, that's 2. At Washington, you're gonna say no, so the fuck you.
Yeah.
Because you're. Oh, really?
I'll take Daniel Jones. I'll take Daniel Jones.
Okay. Wait. So at Washington,
I will take Daniel Jones playing against Bryce Young.
Okay, that's Giants game.
I will take the Giants.
That's 3. What about at Denver?
Right now, no, not with the way Bo Nix has been playing.
He looks really good. We'll get there soon. Arizona.
No.
Of course.
Arizona? Possibility at home.
You saw how close they played last year. When
I'm just asking, is it possible to win? Those are your possible 4 wins right there.
Zach, they had 6 one-score losses last year. 6. They were not that bad of a team. 6 one-score losses. They have the QB whisperer now, Dave Canales. He's done it 3 years in a row now. I'm not going to bet against him changing. Bryce Young is going to look like Jared Goff from Jeff Fisher to Sean McVay. I promise you.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Well, look, we all agree with the under is here.
This is over.
Chris is taking an over.
I don't count Chris. Chris knows what he's talking about. This is mean Zach here. Zach and I are pondering what the number between 1 and 5.
Yeah, I think 3 is max for the team.
Okay. I got maybe 4. 3 and 4 wins tops. That's it. So, but Chris is going over in this one, right?
Over.
Because you're a crazy person.
No.
What do they got on defense? They gave away Burns.